So I've been thinking about doing some new videos lately. It's sort of like a vlog style where I just talk. I've never really shared my story with anybody. I've got some I've got some a lot of anxiety issues. I think I have ADHD, some executive function disorder that makes it really hard to tell stories in real life because the anxiety, it just puts me in fight or flight, and I can't keep a constant train of thought without getting nervous. So I literally never tell stories in real life, but here in my bedroom, the comfort of my bedroom, in front of the webcam, it's a good place for me to tell a story. So I'm gonna start doing these vlog style videos where I just tell my stories because I've got some interesting stories to tell. And the first one here is how I got sued for $109,000 before I was even 20 years old. When I graduated high school in 2010, my first job was an 8-hour-a-day job, weekends usually off. We'd be on call on weekends, but it was just a regular job. But it was in the oil field industry, and eventually I outgrew that job and I moved on to something a little more intense in the oil field, which had me working 12 hours a day, 28 days straight, and then 14 days off. So for 28 days straight, this includes Saturdays, Sundays, every day for 28 days straight, I'd work a 12-hour shift. And to top off this 12-hour shift, we had 2 hours of transit to and from location each and every day. And then top it off with another 30 to 60 minutes of shift change. So that puts us at about 14 to 15 hours a day strictly dedicated to oilfield work. That's seriously an insane amount of work, and you're basically dedicating your life to it. Even when you're on, or in my case, when I was on my 14 days off after the 28-day hitch, on my 14 days off, it didn't really feel like a days off. It just felt like a countdown until the next hitch. And the 14 days off, it's literally more of a celebration slash vacation than anything. You get on your days off and it's such a huge relief, and you've got all this money. The first thing you want to do is go spend it, go party a little bit, eat out at nice restaurants, whatever. You just you basically go spend a ton of money. The company pays you all this money, then they give you these days off, and they're just like, here you go, have a couple days to yourself. But then after these couple days are up, you owe us. You got to come back and give us your life. That's literally what it boils down to. And then another big problem is some people take this money and they put themselves into debt. They buy nice trucks, they buy a house, and then they've got all this insane debt that simply can't be paid for with a normal job. So they're stuck with it. They can't get out. I fell into this trap of, working your hitch, having all this money, and then partying. I was fresh out of high school. I wasn't even 21 years old yet. I was completely independent, and I had thousands of dollars. Of course, what am I going to do with these thousands of dollars? I'm going to go party. I'm going to party like an idiot. And that's what I did. So I met up with a couple people that I've known for a little while, and we rented a house out in the country. This house cost us $1,400 a month, not including power or whatever else. $1,400 a month, split 3 ways, really easy to pay for. And this was a nice house. It was a 2-story house. It was built like a box. It was like the perfect party house. It's built like a box. It's got a balcony that overlooks like the living room, and you could pretty much just like one big huge open square area with 2 stories. The perfect party house. And we partied in that house. Like, we really partied. I'd say like literally at least twice a month we'd have a huge party, and there would be like on a bad day we would have 50 people. On a good day we would have 100, probably at least 100 people come throughout the night. And luckily for us, the landlord never stopped by once throughout the entire year of our contract. The landlord never stopped by for us. That house got destroyed. Towards the end of our contract, roughly a month before the end of our contract, the landlord finally decided to stop by and see what was going on with the house. It was me, my brother, and a couple of friends there, and this was after a huge party. Of course, the landlord comes by in the morning, and I think I was sleeping in my bedroom, and I heard some guy yelling in the house. He was pissed off, Heard this guy yelling. I woke up and went out to see what was going on. I didn't even recognize the guy. Like, I couldn't remember what my landlord looked like since the first time I met him and signed the contract. I didn't even recognize the guy. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is he yelling in my house? And then after a couple minutes, I realized what was going on. It's the landlord. Of course, he's pissed off because the house just looks trashed. We just got done having a huge party, and all the previous parties throughout the year, of course, did some damage to the house. We had doors were kicked in. There was a broken window. There was broken glass throughout the entire gravel driveway. There were bullet holes. We had guns out there. This was out in the country. There were bullet holes shot through the garage, which was like a couple 100 yards away. So for some reason, we used that as target practice. But yeah, the landlord, when he finally showed up the one day and saw all this damage, yeah, he was really pissed off. He was especially pissed off because the people who owned the house decided they finally wanted to sell it. And that's why the landlord finally came out, because I think he was gonna let us know that the owner of the house wants to sell it, and he was gonna give us a little notice saying, hey, you gotta get out. And yeah, he shows up and sees just all this damage. Oh boy, he was not happy at all. Fast forward a couple months, the owners of the house, they of course file a lawsuit and they seek payment for damages. So me and the two other people signed onto the contract. We each got sued for $109,000 each. I hired a lawyer. My lawyer dropped that price down to, I think it was roughly $27,000. And one other guy got the same deal down to $27,000. And then the third guy, I think I'm not sure what exactly happened to him. I'm not sure if he got the same deal or not. But yeah, we all got sued for multiple thousands of dollars, and we had 1 year of intense partying, 1 year of a lot of fun, and then it finally caught up to us. And I was still under 21 years of age when all this was going on. I think I was 19 years old when I got sued. I was 19 years old and I got sued for $109,000. Like, that's just too much for a 19-year-old. The reason this happened was because of the oil field. It's because as soon as I graduated high school, I just got a job in the oil field, and it's a high-paying job. I haven't had a chance to grow up and live and learn yet. I'm fresh out of high school, of course. The only thing I want to do is party, and I've got all this money to make that happen. That's exactly what happened. And I made these mistakes just too much too soon. And that basically wraps up this story of how I got sued for $109,000. There's so much stuff that went on during this time span between age 18 and 21. I think I went to jail probably like 10 times. I had so many misdemeanors, alcohol-related misdemeanors, minors, etc. And I think I'm gonna share all this in other videos. If you guys wanna hear about those wild stories as well, how I went to jail 10 plus times, just subscribe and hit that like button and let me know in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.